One of the first sums of money I made was purely through networking. I was speaking to a bunch of people via social media. We got into a group, we got speaking. This is also where your own personal drive and the way that you hold yourself and present yourself is going to be wonders for you, because people don't just want to network, especially when they're busy, especially when they're starting to grow a business and starting to bring in money. They don't just want to network with anybody who's doing a business. They will look for certain attributes that you have that they think, oh, okay, I like what he says here, or I like how he holds himself, I like how he speaks, I like the goals that he's got, I like the drive that he's got. So networking's brilliant, but you always need to remember nobody's just going to want to network with anybody. You have to focus on yourself as well as reaching out to people or just having conversations a lot of the time. And don't say no to every opportunity, because you don't know what it might lead to. But by no means does that mean say yes to every opportunity as well, because it will just soak all of your time if you're saying yes to everybody else and not focusing on yourself. So what basically ended up happening is I was speaking to this group of people, and one of them actually ran another business, full-time business, very successful as far as I could see. And he liked how fast and he liked how well presented I made a couple of logos that we were all sort of designing together. This was all used with AI. I used AI to do it all. And he liked the accuracy, he liked how it was presented, he liked how fast I could do it as well. We'd be speaking about a logo and 10-15 minutes later, I threw a logo in front of her. What does this look like? And because of this, he went on to sign a client via his business and actually reached out to me and said, the client's not happy with the website because they've not got a logo. And they've asked, do I provide website design services? And he reached out to me to do it. So I obviously did the logo, a little bit more in depth than what I had ever done before, because usually I'll just use AI and that's it. I don't tend to change too much about it because AI is pretty accurate. But when you've got a customer that wants specific things, you've got to adapt, you've got to find a way to make it happen. Exactly what I did. Went back and forth with him for roughly about a week. And then he just turned around and asked me for the price. Told him the price, paid the money in. And that was the first time I realised that just being somebody who's able to do something. Now, I'm not promoting this as a business model, but if you just accept that you're the type of person who can just get something done, just accepting that is a massive, massive thing, and people will notice it as well, especially if you're networking in groups of people that are trying to grow a business. They'll notice if you're just the guy who can just get stuff done. I don't know how I'm going to get it done at the time of saying yes, or I don't know how all of the little I's and T's are going to work, but I can just get it done. I'm going to find a way to get it done, because I've said it. I've said to you, I've made a promise to you, you've made a promise to your client. I'm not going to make myself look like an idiot, and I'm also not going to make you look like an idiot, because then that ruins the relationship. So just accepting and saying to yourself, I'll just find a way. You'll have so many opportunities that come at you, especially when it comes to making money in the beginning, that you could easily turn away because you don't know 100% how to do it. Now this, again, I don't want it to go too far and people are accepting government contracts on how to shift millions of pounds worth of guns to different countries if you do not know how to do that. But if it's something small, for example, let's take our good old copywriting friend, and he's used to ghostwriting on X, and somebody says, oh, can you do it on Threads, or can you send emails, or can you write me a web page copy? And you've never done it before. Don't say no just because you feel like an imposter. Say, absolutely, I can 100% get this done for you. It'll be X amount of time. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with them. Because one or two things are gonna happen there. You're either gonna do it, realise you can do it, and then that's another thing under your belt, or you're not gonna be able to do it, and because you've said yes, you've now got to learn, and you've now got to problem solve your way to providing this for the person you promised it to, because your ego is going to be involved. You've said yes, I can do it. So now, yes, you have to find a way. Yes, you have to almost just overcome the imposter syndrome, because if you want to keep the relationship with this person that's reached out and basically offered you money in exchange for a service, you want to keep those relationships going well, especially in the beginning when they're sort of few and far between. So you'll just find a way to make it happen. And that's exactly what I did. And as I say, it opened my eyes to just, although I'm in video editing and I do as much as I can just stick to video editing and reaching out to clients and providing the initial service, because as we spoke about before, having that one honed skill that you've got and being the go-to guy within that skill is far more lucrative than being a jack of all trades. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if the opportunities arise, you can't say yes, because one good thing about it is it's free money. Ultimately, somebody's approached you to get this service done, or to get your skill, and that could lead on to continuous work. Which, if you're earning nothing, what else are you gonna do? So I'd 100% always speak with people, and always, to a degree, I want this to be highlighted, to a degree, don't just say no to every opportunity. See if you can adapt a way to provide that value, or even if you can speak to somebody who knows how to do it and you just become a bit of a glorified middleman. There's nothing wrong with that, because you're then building a network. If you offer the skill to a friend, you take that skill and then you give it to another friend. You're the connect between the two, which is a great place to be. You've also provided him with some form of income, or some form of money basically. So he's going to be happy. He's then going to be open to, if you reach out to him again and you need him for your business, or you need him for other people's business, you've got a service you can offer, as well as the person you've given the service to is now going to think of you as a go-to guy. So it can be a continuous thing. So unless you absolutely screw it up, unless you accept way above your caliber, which you'll know at the time of having the conversation, unless you do that, it's only going to be a win-win for all parties. So always be networking, always be listening to other people's opportunities and seeing if there is a way that you can help in any way, shape or form, because it's only going to make you better.